Welcome, Prowl Nation. It's lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to look at 8 takeaways from the Detroit Lions training camp. The unpadded pajama practices, as Dan Campbell calls it. But first, let's kick it over to the main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, Dale? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. You're home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hey, we got some great show for you today, and let's get this thing started
right now.
Let go.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby. Welcome back, Prowl Nation, and now I'm going to kick it over to Curt with 8 takeaways from the Detroit Lions training camp. What do you got for me, Curt?
All right, now this is coming from our friends, friends of the show over at Pride of Detroit, and they have some observations coming out of the training camp, the unpadded practices. Now, this is from Jeremy Reisman over there at POD. He said the first thing is that the defense is significantly ahead of the offense, and that's not rare. Most instances in training camps, the defense has a early advantage, and the offense doesn't come on until later because of the fact of the installs and this defense is more instinctive than offense most times. All right, Jerichoff has been accurate but indecisive. Can't figure out where he wants to put the ball sometimes, but he has been putting some good passes on players once he decides where he's going to go with the ball. Another one is that's not a big surprise. The Lions need a wide receiver to step up. You have a pretty much all the second-tier type of guys who are playing the receiver position for the Lions right now. And these guys were number ones maybe in college, but they're all number twos and number threes in the NFL. So they need one of those guys to step up and really become the leader in that wide receiver room. Detroit will ride the hot hand of the running back, and we might see them on the field at the same time. Now, what do you think about that, Jim? I would love to see those guys on the field at the same time.
I like that. I like a dual back setup where they don't know which one's going to get the ball. I mean, it makes your defense a little unpredictable, and you can run a pass play out of that. You could run a slant off that, or you could run a deep route off that because it looks like a run. You know what I'm saying? So you fake hand off to one of them, and you can do so many multiple things out of that set. And I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Especially with those two guys, they both can catch the ball very well out of the backfield. And then you have Jeff Okudah and Tracy Walker look dialed in. I'm not surprised with either one of those things. They both have been, singing the praises of, Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant, taking their games to the next level in this defense. And Tracy Walker, I've been watching his journey this offseason on Instagram, and he just looked dialed in. He's been working out religiously, and he's just taking an approach where he's going to improve his game. It's a contract year for Tracy Walker, so he's going to make the best of it and get the most on film, so either he can sign with Detroit again or look at moving on to somewhere else. All right, some rookies are being fast-tracked, and others may be looking at starting next year. Of course, you got Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Aleem McNeil. Look like those guys may be day one starters, but you have a couple of guys who are going to, maybe have to wait until next year. You have Iffy. I know Val's going to be sad about that. And then you have Levi Onwuzurike. Those guys, they're a little bit
little green.
A little slower in their progression. But maybe Onwuzurike may be one of those guys that may break through. And another guy is the young linebacker, Derek Barnes. He's been kind of limited. I think they're kind of just taking it easy with him because
he's got some injury concerns.
A tweak injury here or there. So they want to just bring him in slow. And that's different from what we've seen in the past from the Detroit Lions. All right, the specialist battles have maybe already be done. All right, long snapper and Randy Bullock. Long snapper Don Muhlbeck and Randy Bullock look like those guys look that they may be, the presumed starters for that position. But, Muhlbach, death, taxes, and Don Muhlbach. That's how it goes in Detroit. And then Randy Bullock look like he hasn't missed very much in camp as far as kicking the ball. So especially 50 yards and in. So he looks like he's going to be winning that job. If the young fella doesn't come on within the next couple of weeks we're getting towards the preseason. And the last but not least, and we talked about this yesterday, Aubrey Pleasant is a stud. Aubrey Pleasant is the talk of Lions camp. I mean, he is. You have to look at this guy. He is the talk of Lions camp. And that's rare that it's not a player and it's a coach. And their position coach is that. You know what I'm saying? It's not he's not the defensive coordinator or the offensive coordinator. He's the defensive back coach or secondaries coach, and he's the passing game coordinator on the defense. But he's teaching those young guys in that secondary a lot, and they're learning so much from him back there in that back end of their defense. And like I said in my short report, like he did the same thing out LA. He took a bunch of late to mid-round draft picks and made those guys one of the best secondaries or pass defenses in the NFL. Aubrey Pleasant, the big homie from Flint, the Flintstone, holding it down. Those are the 8 takeaways from Jeremy Reisman about what's going on in Lions training camp right now for the Pajama Warriors going into padded practices today at Allen Park.
Yeah, I think that some of the things where we're talking about the rookies and stuff like that, it's just a question of where they're at positionally. So Anzarike may not be, as far, because the depth chart is really, we have a good depth there. We have Brockers and Hand. Well, if he stays healthy, but we do have a lot of people at that position, and also at the cornerback position where you have Jeff Okudah, you have a Warrior, you have Dunbar, you have Cornelder and all those. But I think that if he would get a better chance with an injury right now, if something would happen, I also think that, the same for Anzarike. I think that both of those players, it's just because of the depth of the position and not the individuals themselves. I don't think it's because they're behind. That's why I wanted to say that. Other thing with injuries, Jelani Tavai was limited, and you're still looking at, a couple other guys on there. That Derek Barnes thing, man, right? That hurts because, that young fella needs every rep he can get right now.
I think so as well. But I think that I like the way the approach to it, though. I like the way they're kind of easing him in. He's working on the side, so he is doing some work. But they're not just throwing him out there, throwing him to the wolves. And
that's a good thing.
They're taking their time with him because we saw this before where they just kind of throw guys to the wolves, and next it's a long-term injury or they're out a ton of games. And and especially with the padded practices starting today, you definitely don't want him in there if he's not 100% or at least able to go without hurting himself even further. So I like the approach by Dan Campbell and his crew. And speaking of Aubrey Pleasant, one of the things that he's doing, he's making it harder for the guys that we brought in. The veteran guys aren't getting those reps. They're getting second team reps. Quentin Dunbar is getting second team reps.
Yep.
Mike Forrest getting second team reps. So those guys, you got our Warrior and Jeff Okudah, those guys are stepping up and those guys are making it tough on those veterans we brought in. So,
but those guys are younger and they need that training. He knows how to bring those people up.
Yeah.
Whereas,
definitely.
the veteran people, they've been there before. They've been there before. They may not have been in the system, but they've been there before and they've had their reps. Let's get the young kids in there and get some reps with those guys. And I actually do think a Warrior and Okudah are the favorites to start right now.
I think so.
Quentin Dunbar,
and Mike Ford, and Mike Ford
Mike Ford too
at the nickel or slot corner.
He has an advantage because of he has his name as Ford in the Ford zone. The company. No, I'm kidding. He don't. He has a lot of talent.
He's working his way in.
He has a lot of talent. But anyway, let's go to the question. Family discussion topic from Prowl Nation today is, what were your takeaways from the Pajama Warrior practices? We're out there in shorts, guys, but we're so starved for football. We'll report on anything pretty much. But what was your take from that portion of the practices? And next up in my news and rumors topic, some of the Evans are coming to the Lions. The Lions are big on Evans. Center Evan Boehm and the activate guard Evan Heim from the COVID reserve list. So that's cool. We signed a backup center. I mean, come on, man. Didn't we need this last year? We let Glasgow go and we just let that position kind of slide.
Yep.
No, we signed a veteran. We signed Evan Boehm, and I think that's a good signing. The reason I think it's just backup, right? But guess what? That is the 90th player on the active roster. For those of you thinking that we were holding on for Todd Gurley, we could make a cut if we decided to sign him.
Oh, yeah.
But, Boehm was a 4th-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals in 2016. He's kind of moved around a bit. He went to the Colts, Dolphins. I think that's where Dan Campbell might know him from, is the Dolphins, Bills, Jaguars, and you know, he's been in 55 games. He started 21 times over his 5 years in the league. Yeah. But he's primarily a center. He has some guard experience, you know. He said he could have been a Joe Dahl because he played a little bit at fullback too.
Oh man, you know what though? I like the approach that Brad Holmes is doing with this guy, because you bring in a guy who can play center, but he can play all 3 interior offensive line positions. It's kind of like Frank Ragnow, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, he's not on that level, of course, because Frank's the best in the business. But you look at a guy who's versatile, and the approach from Brad Holmes, I like that, with bringing in a guy who can play all 3 interior offensive line positions. And he's a veteran who has played some, you know, more snaps than the backups guys that we have on the roster right now at the guard position.
Absolutely. He's going to challenge with Drake Jackson and Evan Boehm. How many Evans do we have on this team? Oh my God. What is that? 3 of them so far?
It's a lot.
No, I think that was a misprint though, because he said he's still on the reserve list. Well, maybe that's another Evan. My goodness, we have a lot of Evans.
Well, Dan Campbell said yesterday, if your name's Evan, you have a chance of playing offensive line for the Lions.
That is what he said.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. All right, going to my news and rumors topics coming out of the Rams camp. During the media availability yesterday out in LA, Matthew Stafford said he felt like he let the Detroit Lions down. I don't know how the hell did he think that. But some fans are going to agree with that. Oh yeah, he was number 1 pick. And, you know, he only got us to the playoffs 3 times in his whole career, and they were only wild card games. We never won a division. But quarterback wins aren't a stat. I mean, you have to look at, and there are some people in the fan media, as I like to call us, that, you know, that we're fans and we join the media. Yeah. We're like, no, you know, if one thing the Detroit Lions organization did, never put a consistent, great team or good team around him that was a championship level team. I think that 2014 team, that the one that lost the game out in the Dallas with the picked up flag, probably was one of his best chances of making a long playoff run, deep playoff run. But Matthew Stafford played his heart out. You know, he played hurt, played injured. He played when most guys would never even think about putting a uniform on, let alone getting in a game. And sometimes it was games that had no meaning at all, but he wanted to play because he was the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and he never wanted to, let the fans down. He wanted to be there on the field, battling out with his teammates. So, Matthew Stafford, man, you did not, in my opinion, you did not let the Detroit Lions or the Detroit Lions fan base down, not winning the championship here, because it's a team sport, and you never have the tools consistently to build a consistent winner here in the Motor City.
I think the Detroit Lions let Matthew Stafford down. I don't think they built a team around him. You could say, oh, he had weapons, though. He had Calvin Johnson. When did he have a top 10 defense and top 10 offense at the same time? As in offensive line, running game. You know, our running game was always crap. Our defense was good 1 year, 2 years, maybe, but mostly crap. All the stats that we had was from him.
1,000-yard rusher.
Yep.
Reggie Bush. That was
he went 5 years without a 100-yard rusher
in a game. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
5 years. That's just crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
But you know what else is crazy? The comments from the people.
Let's get to this comment card.
Go to the segue real quick.
What you had to say about yesterday's show. Jim, you up first. What you got first, my man?
Daniel Blackbird says, how do I feel about this regime? I've never looked forward to a probable losing season this much ever. You know what? That fit perfectly.
Yes.
I was like, you know what? I saw that comment. I'm like, that's got to go first, because man, that's just perfect. It's like, yeah, I'm so looking forward to this losing season.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
I mean, some fans are going to say, no, we're going to win this season. And I don't want to rain on your parade, you know? So I'll just say, I'm looking forward to this season. I'll say that. Let's do it that way.
when we get you into the 12-step program here, we'll have the numbers at the bottom of the screen at the end of the show. All right, Dave, which is a lowercase d, a capital A lowercase v, and a capital E. That is a
unique,
scary spelling. Your guy, I don't know about that. Okay, the coaching staff looks fantastic for sure. Definitely a breath of fresh air. Some of these fans need to lay off the Kool-Aid. Well, Jim, you got your Kool-Aid today. Show the fans your Kool-Aid. Okay, and it's blue. Okay, so I would be happy if they win 7 games this year. You know what, though? Jim and I have been preaching this all off season. We said 5 to 7 wins for the Detroit Lions. And Dave, we're right there with you, fella. We're 5 to 7 wins.
Yep. Lowered expectations, people.
Yep.
Jeremy Ballreich says, I haven't seen fan interaction training camp since the Saginaw Valley State days. This is awesome. Talking about Dan Campbell and getting in with the fans and stuff like this. I mean, I am going down to training camp Thursday, and you just don't know how excited I am to go down and see all this stuff, man. I want to see it in person, and I will be reporting from there and letting you guys know what I saw and my takes on training camp and what's going on down there. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. I wish you a lot of fun down there in Allen Park, man. I wish I can get up there and go to that. You know, it's kind of hard being down here in North Carolina just to get up there to do anything.
True.
You know. But next up, we have our favorite skateboarder, John Thrasher. He says, Curt, still right on the money about Aubrey Pleasant. He's the man who made a lot of money for LaMarcus Joyner, Tremaine Johnson, John Johnson III, and Troy Hill. He really improved the Rams secondary in a hurry when he arrived in 2017. Great segment. Thanks. Hey, man, I appreciate that. You know, that I did that video just to give some background on him. And I always got to highlight, you know, things that's going on. He's a rock star right now in Lions training camp. He's a rock star, period. I mean, he's a guy who can definitely become a defensive coordinator in the near future.
He really could. Walter M. Roberts III, PhD, says, on the sidelines, Patricia always had that look on his face of disdain and condensation. Like Jim Schwartz wore that look of panic. Things began to go south. You know, I remember that. He had that vein that would pop out of his head.
Yeah.
The players that take their cue from their coach. Oh, the players take the cue from their coach. Remember how stoic Tom Landry was on the Dallas sideline. I can't imagine that Dan Campbell would have a poor sideline presence. No, I'm expecting him to not be able to stay off the field. Is kind of, yeah. We may get some penalties for our coach being on the field sometime. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think he's gonna
have one of them sideline wranglers like they have in college. The guys that pull.
Yeah, he's gonna have a leash. He goes so far it pulls him back.
Yeah, you gotta have a sideline wrangler. You gotta have a dedicated coach assistant on the sideline. You keep me on the sideline. You know, you gotta have a big guy because he's a big dude. So
I can see him in a harness with this thing man. Tied to the bench.
A bungee cord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I'm kidding.
All right. Finally, artist formerly known as PC Paler. What up, PC? Who else got a little choked up watching the DB's reaction to his wife killing it at the Olympics? That's David Blau. That's what love looks like. Damn, that was cool to watch. And that was cool of the Lions, just the whole Lions media department and the Lions themselves, you know, setting that camera up so they can go and wish her good luck before she raced. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, she flamed out in the semifinal, but it was just one of those things that I look forward to, and that's a big thing for all the love that they show her. And watching David Blau, man, you know, they've been high school sweethearts, so they've been, you know, together for a while, and that's what, you know, true love looks like right there.
Yes, it is. And speaking of true love, here we go. I love this segment from Curt. It's the Dessert with Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites.
Delightful Bites. Hey, if you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Custom cookies and desserts for every occasion. Delightful Bites. Get your cookie on. Not just a caveat on what we just talked about. She tried her best out there in Tokyo. We're talking about Melissa Gonzalez, who is David Blau's wife. She had a strong running in the in the Olympics. We know we did that, deserted by her yesterday, her having her race yesterday morning, and she finished sixth in her heat in the semifinals. She did not qualify for the finals, but congratulations to her. She did a lot farther than any of us who's or will do this have done. So, congratulations to her and her efforts for even making it to Tokyo and qualifying for the Olympics. And shout out to David Blau for his support and love for his beautiful wife, Melissa, and to the Lions organization for everything they did to show her some love and support from Allen Park. So congratulations again to a I would say successful, because she made it there run in the Olympics and to make it to the semifinals of the women's 400-meter hurdles.
All right, man, that was good, man. And it just shows you how the difference is between this regime and the Patricia regime. We have beat that horse to death. So that is not going to be my final thoughts for today. My final thoughts for today are that this is a lot of things that are going on here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And you notice Mike is not here, and he is here in spirit. Trust me. I'll tell you the truth. Mike has done a lot of good things behind the scenes. He gave away some tickets to Dosa Dion and his father to go to training camp with the with the season ticket holders and stuff. And he just has a huge heart. And my shout out is to Mike today. And we miss you on the show. We really do. You added a dimension to us. And I just hope that someday either you get fired. No, wait, I don't hope that. I just want you back on the show. That's all. It's selfish. Yeah. But then tomorrow we do have the gold members meeting at 3:00. I'm just letting you know that. Also, this Friday is the Friday free-for-all. Again, our show on Thursday is not going to be at 11. It will be a lot later, and possibly even on Friday at some point, just because we're going to be in Detroit. It's going to be a long day. It's about a 3.5 hour drive for us. So, it's going to take, I'm going to leave at 2 a.m. just to be there early in the morning so that we can, get our own takes from there and things. So I'm just really looking forward to that. But that's just something that, it just has to happen that way. So just wanted to let you know that stuff, but really appreciate you doing all you do for us. And the march to 10,000 subscribers is on. Please join us in this crusade to get to 10,000 subscribers. I know that's a really high mark from where we are now, but that's where we need to be, folks. That's where we need to be because we want to get this show out to a ton of Lions fans and make this show grow, get new equipment, the different things that we need to get to be able to push this show out there to more Lions fans. And we really appreciate each and every one of you that helps us all along the way to that march. And we're going to keep you updated. Right now, we're at 2,418 subscribers. We'll keep updating that number every day so that you know where we're at. And if you have a friend, tell a friend, subscribe.
Definitely. Hey, my final thoughts are today is the pajama practices are over for right now. It is time to put the pads on and see who's going to show up and show out during those padded practices. So good luck to those guys out there, and please do not get injured. So we hope that you guys stay healthy, but go out there and compete and have fun and win those starting positions for those guys who are on the bubble. And you know who we are, man. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Join the family, be part of Prowl Nation, because we don't have fans, we don't have viewers, we have family, and it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And definitely go over to DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com and check us out over there. And you can click the link for Lions on the Prowl shop as well. Get yourself some great Lions on the Prowl gear like Jim is wearing right there. Or you can get some Lions gear at Fanatics.com. I got the fresh lid on here today. I got more in the mail that's coming right now.
Yeah.
And click the link in the description below to get yourself some gear from Fanatics.com. The link below provides us a portion of the proceeds and help us grow the content on this channel as well. And we have a new member of the team that's behind the scenes. We're gonna, we appreciate him doing what he's doing for the program, and he's keeping us up, and he's gonna make it so we can advance this show the show even further.
Yeah, I gotta say something about that real quick. Nathan is our guy from the back that's doing our editing for us, and we were able to hire him because of the support and buying our merch and helping us to grow. That helped us a ton. You're going to see better animations. You're going to see more things coming up in the next few weeks. He's just getting acclimated to us right now, but we have a new editor, and I think it's going to go off just absolutely great. But let's walk over to the Wall of Fame real quick and get let's do that, Curt. Who do we got on that Wall of Fame today?
So, of course, we have our bronze members. We have Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, Art Allen, Jim Bo G, Crystal Wiley, Sage Roberts, Sage Surratt Roberts. Okay, now Brian Stover, Mo Gagrius, Justin 10K, my favorite Sarasa. And we have the Latino Lion. And then we have our silver members. We have Nomus J, Jason Portis, Campbell Cole, Batman of the 313, John Martin, and the F5, the Tornado, is in the building for our silver members. For the gold members, we have Michael Huck, Just in the D, Detroit, Dr. Detroit X. Okay, did he change his name?
Well, that's my fault. No, that's my fault. I had to change the Wall of Fame because there were people that, more people came on and some people have dropped off. So I had to make sure on that list that I X'd off everybody. So you get our bloopers right here, right on the screen right now.
Dr. Detroit is always in. You know what I'm saying? Larry McQuiston, Turner C. Burley, Dominique Davis, Matthew Ferguson, Randall Flagg 606, Miles Gibbs, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, and the big fella, North End Ken. He's always in the building. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button in the description or the Detroit Lions on the Prowl logo at the bottom of the screen. And you can go over to BellyUpSports.com and check out the show over there as well. Baseball is heating up. The playoff races are getting ready to start. And definitely check out all the trade deadline moves that were made. And they have great coverage of all that stuff right over there on BellyUpSports.com. And they have a great fantasy department that's revving up for the season. So go over there and check those guys out at BellyUpSports.com. And it is great to be here. Great to have you guys show. It's Tuesday, baby. Hey, wipe those crumbs off your face, drink your soda, clean off your desk, and get back to work. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do, baby. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.